Shane McMahon with a huge announcement concerning the WWE Championship. Ambrose versus Orton, a steel cage match for the SmackDown Women's Championship, and La Luchadora is finally revealed. All this plus the King's Court returns in Memphis, Tennessee. We got a lot of craziness in this epic edition of the SmackDown Rebound. Hello, everybody. My name is Conor, aka. Oh, wow, that was a lot. That lot happened in 2 hours. KayFabe, and welcome back to another edition of the SmackDown Rebound, right here on OneWrestling.com, and of course, One Wrestling Video's YouTube channel, where we cover everything and anything pertaining to the boy blue brand known as SmackDown Live. Hello, everybody. You guys know me. I'm Conor, aka. Oh, KayFabe, your official OneWrestling.com video correspondent for SmackDown Live. I seriously got to get work on that title. There's got to be like a shorter version I got to work on that. But in any case, guys and gals, we got a lot of things to cover on this week's SmackDown. A lot went down in just a mere 2 hours. A lot of Royal Rumble implications, crazy matchups, even though we only had 3, including a championship match that ended in some very big, a major surprise and major reveal. And I can't wait to hear you guys' thoughts upon it. Make sure you leave your thoughts down in the comment section. Hit us over on all the social media for myself. All the links to the entire OneWrestling.com family social media are down in the description box below, including yours truly, Conor, aka OKayFabe. Of course, Big Ray, Billy Ray Valentine, everyone over at PW Hustle, Big Slam Nation, and of course, the legendary, the iconic Mr. Bill Apter himself. Make sure you give us also a big thumbs up and a like button on here, and subscribe for all the awesome stuff here at OneWrestling.com Video's YouTube channel. Alright guys, we kick things off with a major announcement from Shane McMahon. Apparently Shane was going to start off with a major announcement, and I gotta say, he kind of delivered in that aspect. He announced it in 4 weeks' time. SmackDown will once again be hosting a brand-exclusive pay-per-view. This time, it is the Elimination Chamber. And inside said Elimination Chamber, 6 of the best superstars will be competing for the WWE Championship in just 4 weeks. Now, granted, we're only 2 weeks out from the Royal Rumble, but of course this really truly upset the phenomenal one, the current WWE champion, AJ Styles. AJ basically come out saying that Shane McMahon's trying to screw him, but of course this brings out his opponent at the Royal Rumble, none other than John Cena. Cena does very little talking as AJ continues to say everyone's stealing his spotlight, which prompts the Miz to come out. Miz and AJ do this amazing back and forth banter with Cena kind of going behind them and egging them on. It was actually quite funny, ultimately leading to Shane McMahon saying, hey, you know what, this is getting heat, let's make it red hot, let's drop the ball, let's make Miz versus AJ Styles the opening contest. The two actually had a very, very solid matchup in the opener, but AJ, of course, didn't take too long for him to attack John Cena at commentary. Cena, of course, chases AJ Styles out of the ring, and then, of course, Miz tries to go for an attack on Cena, AA to Miz, and then AJ also tries to does a phenomenal forearm off the top rope, but unfortunately gets caught into an AA as well, too, as John Cena stands tall with the WWE World Championship. Now, personally, it's hard for me to tell now with the way they've been like kind of positioning AJ and John, but I do like the fact that they involve the Miz in this as well too. It kind of reemphasizes my idea and my hope that Miz is going to be moving on beyond the Intercontinental Championship, and that he has the ability to now be seen in the main event spotlight, as he's being predominantly featured by both AJ Styles and John Cena respectively this opening segment. So I'm really happy for that. What I'm really curious to see is what they're going to do with Miz after the Royal Rumble. You can bet that I'm going to put some money down on the fact we're probably going to see The Miz, the most must-see WWE superstar of all time, probably inside that Elimination Chamber. In a very intriguing, yet I find it a little funny segment, Nikki Bella calling out Natalya, calling her out to kind of settle things one-on-one finally, but Natalya, of course, is way up high on the rafters, calling and calling Nikki out, and then proceeds to go to the merchandise table, once again complaining about how Nikki Bella has merchandise, and she does not, attempting to tear up the merchandise table, but guess what? She doesn't do it alone for very long, as Nikki ends up catching up to her, and they have a gigantic, massive brawl in the merchandise table. I'm just saying, the only reason I'm laughing is because if I ever go to a WWE show again, I would love to go back to the merchandise table just to see Natalya and Nikki go at it, or rather, just to see Natalya. I mean, not Natalya. Anyway, I digress. I'm moving on. Dean Ambrose taking on Randy Orton at the request of Dean Ambrose after the attack that the Wyatts gave him about a month or so ago. This one was a crazy, awesome match, but mostly dominated by Randy Orton. You saw a lot of back and forth with Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper, who, of course, both were at ringside, trying to help interfere and kind of distract Dean and Ambrose, and Orton almost had everything locked, stocked, and ready to rock, but unfortunately, once again, Luke Harper gets into the ring, distracting Orton, telling Luke Harper to leave the ring, to get out. Get out. We don't need you here. Go. As he's shooing Luke Harper out of the ring, Dean Ambrose sneaks up from behind with a quick roll-up, 1, 2, 3, and ultimately gets the win. Now, here's where the real interesting part comes. Once again, we see the possible implosion of the Wyatt family. I mentioned this to you guys on last week's SmackDown Rebound, where it was going to be very interesting to see when exactly this family would implode, and I thought they might have pulled the trigger here. Basically, we see a continuation where they go back and forth, but Harper and Orton actually end up locking up and started beating each other down, but Bray ends up separating them, only to smack Harper of all people. Shocking that he's taking the side of Randy Orton, to say the least. But, all can be hope. There is hope. Bray Wyatt says, we will make it to the Royal Rumble. It was later revealed in an interview, or rather, I should say, a Wyatt cryptic promo, that Bray Wyatt said that all 3 members of the Wyatt family would indeed be in the Royal Rumble match. However, a family divided cannot stand. So next week, it will be Luke Harper one-on-one with Randy Orton. I think it's a little soon to do this matchup. I think that this story is just getting really interesting, and they're really testing the patience. I really like the part where Luke Harper kept on saying, like, he's pointing to Orton as Orton smiling watching this happen, saying he's doing this, it's his fault, he's the one that's causing all this. And it's very interesting because there's a depth to this story. Is Harper jealous that Randy Orton is kind of taking the reins on things with the Wyatt family, that he's Bray's new favorite? Or is it truly Orton's ultimate master plan to divide the Wyatt family from within, which is what I think a lot of people honestly thought once we actually saw Orton join the Wyatt family. So it's getting to that point where it's just about there. I'm really hopeful that they can push this thing all the way to WrestleMania, and my guess and my hope is that we'll see Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton ultimately at WrestleMania one-on-one. I'm also going to put down money on the fact that I'm probably going to mention, and my guess is that we might see Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton also part of that 6-man Elimination Chamber match I mentioned earlier. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Now, we also saw the return of the King's Court. Of course, we're in Memphis, Tennessee, home of Jerry the King Lawler. And why not bring out Dolph Ziggler in continuation of his storyline there? Dolph Ziggler basically doesn't really utter a whole lot about, and even when Jerry Lawler brings up the fact that Ziggler attacked both Kalisto and Apollo Crews not too long ago. As Jerry tries to keep on poking and prodding and coming back with his one-liners as he does so well, Ziggler finally opens up. But he opens up in a very different way, saying that he knew Jerry was going to come out there and basically, humiliate him and embarrass him and make him look bad. So he brought a clip of his own to show, which is, of course, the last time we saw Jerry Lawler compete in a WWE ring. For those of you who don't know, it wasn't a tag team match involving Dolph Ziggler, and Dolph Ziggler showed the scene where he was basically repeatedly dropping an elbow down onto Jerry Lawler's chest, reminding Lawler and the fans that this is right before Jerry Lawler had his massive heart attack back in 2012. As the conversation got a little heated, Jerry Lawler said, well, finally, let me ask you this last question. How does it feel that no matter how many times you change your attitude, you're still a loser? To which Dolph Ziggler, of course, super kicks Jerry Lawler in the chest. JBL getting so upset from commentary and ends up jumping up into the ring to assist Lawler. As far as we can tell, Lawler is fine, even though Lawler called Ziggler back out, saying, if you come back and step in this ring. This was kind of, I have mixed emotions about this one, to be completely honest with you. I liked what they did with I know what they're doing with this. I like to see the return of King's Court. I thought that was great. It's a great throwback. Even King in his full wrestling garb and outfit was really intriguing to see. But I don't know where exactly they're going with Ziggler. I don't know exactly 100% what they're going to be doing with him. I think this is a step in the right direction, but I question whether or not they really needed to bring in the heart attack reference or just that. I mean, he could have just super kicked Jerry Lawler himself, maybe just to make him seem like more of a jerk. But I think maybe that was just a bit, I'm not saying it was too much, like they went too far. I just felt it wasn't necessary in that sense. But again, I want to hear you guys' thoughts. Let me know down in the comments section below. Of course, I mentioned earlier Bray Wyatt announcing the fact that we were going to have that match next week. Also, I did want to mention to you guys this as well, too. And I know this is kind of old news in the sense that it was announced yesterday right before Monday Night Raw. But something I just want to give you guys my own personal take. Of course, the announcement that Kurt Angle would be headlining the WWE Hall of Fame Class of 2017. I'm pumped. I'm excited as a guy who grew up watching Kurt Angle compete on mostly SmackDown, but you guys get the idea. It's really amazing, and first of all, shocking to remember that Kurt Angle hasn't been in WWE for over a decade. That's just kind of mind-blowing. I feel so old. But Kurt is just one of my all-time favorites. He's definitely up there as far as his athletic ability. Definitely deserves it. I'm really pumped and excited to see who else might be inducted into the 2017 Hall of Fame class this year. Finally, the main event, steel cage match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. This matchup was exactly what I was hoping to be. I was a little concerned because of the time constraints. Of course, this was getting into the last half hour of the show, but Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss definitely delivered. I thought Becky Lynch delivered a lot more punishment compared to Bliss. I thought that Becky was just on top. There was a lot of insane moments where we saw like trips on the top rope, throwing into the steel cage. Like it was very well utilized. For a little bit of the match, I was concerned that they were only having a steel cage match for the sake of having a steel cage match, but I was very pleasantly surprised they were able to pull off some really like brutal, impressive moves. Like, I never want to piss any of those women off. I'm just throwing that out there right now. I mean, whew. Anyway, as Becky seems to crawl out of the ring, or actually towards the steel cage door, of course she is blocked by La Luchadora, spreading out all arms and legs, making sure she cannot get out. But as she goes to counter Alexa Bliss's into her own submission maneuver, the disarmament, of course, the masked La Luchadora gets into the ring and super kicks, or should I say spin kicks. That sounds familiar. Spin kicks Becky Lynch, allowing Alexa Bliss to pick up the pinfall victory and retain her championship. As the two women attempted to double-team Becky Lynch, Becky was able to break free, taking out Alexa Bliss and grabbing the mask of La Luchadora off of her to reveal that it is, of course, none other than Mickie James. Mickie James revealing herself to be La Luchadora and teaming with Alexa Bliss really got me, just so excited. There were rumblings and rumors about Mickie James possibly coming back to the main roster, but apparently it is now the fact that she will be on SmackDown Live and sort of entering into some program with Becky Lynch. Whew. Really crazy SmackDown tonight. I loved everything about it. It's funny, when I was writing my notes for the review, if you look back at everything, there were only 3 matches tonight. There were only 3 matches for the entire show. Miz versus AJ, Ambrose versus Orton, and the steel cage match. There were only 3 matches on SmackDown tonight. But I felt like there were a lot of things that were just, the matches, all 3 matches were fantastic. The King's Court, like I said, the only concern I really had with it was the fact that, you had, I just felt like the heart attack thing wasn't needed, but at the same time, I understood from storyline perspective where they were going with that. The Wyatt family thing's got me hooked 100%. I've been a fan of this story, the way they're going, the direction of this. I can't wait to see where they're going to go with this. Again, I hope they go all the way to WrestleMania, and if they can, kudos to them for being able to pull this off for such a long time. Miz and AJ was phenomenal, and of course, Steel Cage match was just fantastic. I loved everything about the SmackDown, but of course, guys, don't forget, I like to hear what you guys have to say. What do you guys think of this week's SmackDown Live? It was a little bit abridged, a little of a shorter version, of course, but no complaints on my end whatsoever. Let me know your guys' thoughts again down in the comments section. Hit me up over on the Twitter at OKayFabe, and make sure you give the entire love to the entire OneWrestling.com family. All the links for all of them are down in the description box below. Make sure you hit a thumbs up if you guys like the SmackDown reviews, if you guys like the SmackDown Rebound, and of course subscribe for more awesome content from us right here at OneWrestling.com and of course One Wrestling Videos YouTube channel. Thank you guys again for watching. I appreciate the continued love and support, and to quote the legendary, the iconic Mr. Bill Apter, we will see you at the matches.